you're scrolling through your iPhone and suddenly it dies, even though you swear the battery was fine just minutes ago. Or maybe you're trying to load an important email in a crowded area, but your phone just won't connect properly. Well, Apple might have some serious solutions coming your way with the iPhone 18 Pro. Today, we're diving deep into Apple's brand new C2 chip that's rumored to debut in the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max. This isn't just another spec bump. We're talking about 3 game-changing advantages that could completely transform how you use your iPhone. From battery life that actually lasts all day to privacy features that keep your location truly private, the C2 chip represents Apple's biggest move away from relying on other companies for their phone's most critical components. But here's the thing. Apple has been pretty quiet about the specific details, so we're going to break down everything we know and what it means for you as an iPhone user. Let's start with the first major advantage of Apple's new C2 chip, improved battery efficiency. Now, if you've been following Apple's chip development, you'll know they've already made some impressive progress with their C1 and C1X cellular modems. These chips have consistently delivered better power efficiency compared to the Qualcomm modems that Apple has been using for years, but the C2 chip is expected to take this to a whole new level. Here's why this matters. When your phone connects to cellular networks, that process actually uses a significant amount of battery power. Most people don't realize that the modem in your phone is constantly working, searching for towers, maintaining connections, and switching between different network types. Apple's tight integration between iOS and their own silicon means they can optimize this process in ways that external chip makers simply cannot. Think about it like this. Imagine you're driving a car where the engine and transmission were made by the same company versus one where they came from different manufacturers. The integrated approach allows for much better communication and efficiency between all the parts. Apple has already credited their C1 and C1X chips with battery life improvements in devices like the iPhone 16e, iPhone Air, and M5 iPad Pro. However, they haven't shared specific numbers about how much battery life you can actually expect to gain. What we do know is that the iPhone 18 Pro is already expected to have a physically larger battery than the iPhone 17 Pro. So when you combine that bigger battery with the more efficient C2 chip, we could be looking at some seriously impressive all-day battery performance. Moving on to the second advantage, and this one is all about your privacy. Apple just launched iOS 26.3, and buried in that update is a feature called Limit Precise Location. Now here's the interesting part. This feature only works on devices that have Apple's own modem chips. So what does this actually do for you? Every time your phone connects to cellular networks, those networks can figure out roughly where you are based on which cell towers you're connecting to. This has always been the case, and there wasn't much you could do about it. But Apple's new privacy feature changes that game entirely. When you turn on Limit Precise Location, your phone will intentionally make your location data less precise for cellular networks. Instead of your carrier knowing you're at a specific street address, they might only know you're somewhere in a particular neighborhood. The best part. Apple says this won't affect your signal quality or user experience at all. Your phone will still work exactly the same way, but you'll have much more control over your location privacy. Right now, only devices with Apple's modems can use this feature. That's the iPhone Air, iPhone 16e, and iPad Pro with M5. But once the iPhone 18 Pro gets the C2 chip, it'll join that exclusive list. This represents a fundamental shift in how much control you have over your personal data. Now let's talk about the third advantage, better performance when you're in tough data spots. We've all been there. You're in a crowded stadium, a busy airport, or just in an area with poor cell coverage. Your phone shows signal bars, but nothing actually loads when you try to use it. Apple's C2 chip is designed to handle these frustrating situations much better than traditional modems. Here's how it works. When your iPhone encounters congested data networks, the phone's main processor can actually communicate directly with the modem. It tells the modem which data transfers are most time-sensitive and prioritizes those over less important background tasks. But the story doesn't end there. There's a lot more happening with the iPhone 18 Pro Max that's getting people excited. Interest in this device has surged recently, and it's largely due to 2 major concerns that every iPhone buyer thinks about: price and daily usability improvements. Apple hasn't confirmed anything officially yet, but analyst insights and leak summaries are pointing towards some interesting developments. First, let's talk about timing. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is still expected to launch in Apple's traditional fall window. There have been some rumors about Apple potentially splitting their launches, with Pro models coming in fall and standard models later in the year. But for the Pro Max specifically, you're still looking at an early fall 2026 release most likely. Now here's where things get really interesting: pricing discussions. Multiple analysts are suggesting that Apple might try to keep the iPhone 18 Pro Max starting price the same as its predecessor. We're talking about potentially starting around $1,199 in the US, with the smaller Pro variant around $1,099. This would be pretty remarkable considering that component costs across the industry have been rising steadily. However, keep in mind that starting price can be misleading. Apple could maintain the entry price while changing base storage amounts or modifying other configuration options. But if they do manage to hold prices steady while adding all these improvements, that would be a significant win for consumers. Speaking of improvements, let's talk about display modifications. Multiple rumor sources are suggesting that Apple might move some Face ID components under the display on the iPhone 18 Pro Max. This could result in a much smaller cutout at the top of your screen, giving you more uninterrupted screen space. The benefit here is primarily about user experience, more room for videos, apps, and just a cleaner look overall. The big question is whether Apple will completely eliminate the cutout or just make it much smaller. Until Apple shows us actual hardware, we won't know for sure what the final design will look like. Camera improvements are also generating a lot of buzz. Two main concepts keep coming up in rumored discussions. First is variable aperture on at least one of the rear cameras. This would allow the camera to mechanically adjust how much light enters the lens, potentially giving you much better versatility in different lighting conditions. Whether you're shooting in bright sunlight, indoor settings, or trying to capture portrait shots, variable aperture could make a significant difference. Second is a renewed focus on telephoto photography, with potential adjustments to zoom capabilities. The details here are still pretty varied and unconfirmed, but it suggests Apple is putting serious effort into long-distance photography. Of course, camera hardware is only part of the equation. Apple's computational photography software will determine how valuable these improvements actually are. Performance-wise, there are expectations for a new Pro-class chip, often referred to as the A20 Pro in speculation. Apple may use a more advanced manufacturing process to improve performance per watt. Combined with rumors about more energy-efficient display technology, the focus seems to be on battery life and sustained performance rather than just benchmark numbers. This is exactly the type of improvement that Pro Max users typically care about most. We're talking about longer high-brightness usage, better heat management during gaming or video recording, and fewer instances of your phone slowing down under heavy loads. So there you have it. Three major advantages that Apple's C2 chip could bring to the iPhone 18 Pro, plus a whole lot more improvements that might be coming along with it. From better battery efficiency to enhanced privacy controls to smarter performance in challenging network conditions, the C2 chip represents Apple's commitment to controlling more of their device experience. But I want to hear from you. Which of these C2 advantages are you most excited about? Are you someone who struggles with battery life and would love those efficiency improvements? Or maybe you're more interested in the privacy features and having better control over your location data. Drop a comment below and let me know which feature you think will make the biggest difference in your daily iPhone usage. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest coverage of upcoming Apple products and features. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.